you saw us hanging out in the green room.
Yeah.
Bouncing stuff around.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful workshop. It's the green room is amazing because when you got like William Montgomery and Brian Simpson and David Lucas and me and Tony and we're all fucking around and Ron White's there and we're all bouncing stuff around.
Oh, is he usually there too?
Ron White was here too.
Wish I saw him. We've seen twice. We've been to that club, the Vulcan, and he wasn't there either time. But I would have loved to see him. I always thought he was really funny.
Get him to come out tonight because we're doing a Crick in the Cave tonight. But yeah, Ron's in town. We have Tim Dillon, Ron White, Tom Segura, Christina Brzezinski, Tony Hinchcliffe, David Lucas, William Montgomery, Hans Kim. We have so many fucking people that live here now.
So are there any ego issues between those people? Because they're all such big personalities. They all can fill the room with their own personality. So is there any butting heads, or is everybody get along nicely?
Massive camaraderie. It's a beautiful community. It's really good here. Really good. Like shockingly good. Like as good as the Comedy Store was. It's amazing. And everybody also recognizes there's something unique about this thing that's emerging here. Because there was like a little community here. There's some pretty talented people here. You know, like they were kind of getting going and doing like little open mics and little small shows they put together here. But now it's like thriving. And so there's these people that are moving here just to do stand-up. People that have this dream of doing stand-up. They're trying to get on Kill Tony. And there's clubs all around town now. Because the feeling of comedy being in Austin is like very tangible. So many people are excited about it.
So it seems like the breakup eventually between Hollywood and comedy was inevitable, given that, you know, with Hollywood, everything is sort of pre-produced and very particular, and you got executives telling people what they can and cannot say, and everything's very kind of scripted on that front. Whereas comedy was always, in a sense, the anti-Hollywood, because it's like, all right, here anything goes. You say whatever you want, and then let's just, you know, see what happens. And so it seems like the breakup was inevitable at some point, that now, you know, they've moved away from Hollywood, and it seems like, I don't know, you would know better than I would, like who's still left in Hollywood and LA versus who's in New York, and now it seems like here there's almost maybe the biggest scene here now.
Yeah, there's a giant scene here. New York still is a very good scene. There's still elite comics in New York, and there's still some really good comics in LA. It's just less of them. A lot of people moved away. Theo moved to Nashville. Theo Vaughn.
Oh, is there a comedy scene there?
A little bit, you know, but like there's Nate Bargatze, who's fantastic. He's there, but Theo's gonna move here now, so it's like he's excited about it too. Like there's so many people that have moved here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like on any given night, we'll have like eight comics up at the Vulcan. It's wild.
It was packed yesterday. Coldest day of the year, worst weather day in Texas.
Yeah, they're saying
33 degrees, icy, and I said to Crystal before we went in court, I was like, I bet you there's gonna be 50 or fewer people there when we go. And we showed up, it was packed.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
With ice on the roads and people, but you know, somebody made a good point. They were like, a lot of these people lost power. And like they're going to get warm too. Like they're actually like, let's watch Bobby, but also let's get warm.
But it's packed there every night. It's always packed. It's a fucking cool thing because it's a new thing. It's very exciting. And the town, it's such an artsy town. The live music here is fucking amazing. There's so many talented people. There's this band, the Nether Hour. There's really talented young guys that are here, and they're just working all the time. They're at this bar this night, and this bar that night. And this guy Ellis Bullard, who's fucking amazing. It's like honky tonk dude who's really fucking good, really cool guy too. He's out here, and then Gary Clark Jr.'s out here, and now Suzanne Santo moved here from Honey Honey, and she's here. And it's like, and there's so many good local bands that you could like on any given night. Like on Monday night, they go out to the Continental Club after they do Kill Tony, and all the local guys get together and jam, and it's incredible. It's like the vibe of like live performances here.
Do you still love comedy as much as you did in like the 1990s?
More. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I got that vibe being in the green room with you guys. I got the sense like that we could literally be in 1998 right now, and Joe would be doing like the same thing. feels a lot easier to me than like writing something down and then trying to go through it in a way. Because if I write something down and I try to go through it, I feel like I start sounding robotic and I'm not connecting to it as well.
Yeah.
So when I riff, that's when people are more interested in what I'm saying, because you know, you can hear that it actually is coming from my core as I'm saying it. So that's what seems very difficult about comedy to me, is that because you always talk about how you write, and so like you have to write down your bits and then you have to deliver it in a way that doesn't feel robotic, that feels like you're still connecting with the words.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Tony said last night, he's like, I don't even write. He said, I don't even write my bits. And to me, I feel like if I was a comedian, I'd be more like him, because if I write it down, I'll be like, and then this is the part of the joke where, like, it just wouldn't come out.
Right, but you don't have to say it that way. Like, I think everybody does it differently. And some people don't ever write, and some of the best comics alive don't ever write. But I feel like you should do all those things. I feel like comics are inherently lazy. And
It's a funny sentence.
this thing, but that's one of the reasons I let them do comedy. They're like, I don't want to work, fuck this. You know, fuck this job. And then you like say something funny about the job and everyone's like, and then you're like, oh, you're really funny. Well, that sort of rebellious mentality leads you to not want to be disciplined. But I think there's a big value in sitting in front of a computer and just spending time going over ideas. Like some of my best bits I've come up with just writing. Just sitting down and writing and then piecing them together. And then the skill is to try to figure out a way to riff those concepts and get it to the point where it's funny.
Do you see a big difference day to day in terms of your delivery? Like some days when you go up there and just be like, I'm just off today. Like I'm not nailing it today. And other days you're like, oh, I'm you know, cranking it right now.
For sure. Yeah, there's days where you're better. But it's like, you got to figure out, well, what was different about the day when I was off. You know, maybe I didn't get as excited. Maybe I didn't pace enough or warm up enough. Maybe I didn't like treat it with a lot of weight. Like you got to like, there's a lot of heaviness to like going on stage. Like, here we go. And then you also have to be like looser on stage sometimes. And it's like, there's a lot of variables, which is why it's exciting.
Do you feel like more pressure, the better? The more pressure you feel, the better you do?
Some pressure. Yeah, you need some pressure.
That's interesting.
I get nervous for every show.
That means you love it.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods said that. He's like, yeah, I get nervous before every round, and that's how I know I still love it.
Yeah, that's what fighters say too. Fighters say the worst feeling is like when you're not nervous. Because if you're not nervous, and you go, and some of them are fine with that, but a lot of them, they want to be on edge. They want to be like in the green room getting ready, like,
yeah.
You know, because then you're that the nerves and everything is you're excited about this moment, and it's an important moment for you, and that's important.
You know you care.
Yeah.
You know you care.
Yeah, you
in a situation like that. Yeah.
You care, and you know, people don't like to be uncomfortable. But I think through being uncomfortable, that's where the growth comes. That's where you learn things.
Yeah, well, after you feel nervous, and then you do the thing and you do it well, the feeling of relief you get afterwards is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I went on the PBD podcast recently, Patrick Ben David, and I went in there knowing, I mean, they're like sort of like a grind set show. Make money, hustle culture, that sort of stuff. And I went in there, and as somebody who's on the left, you know, they're not really going to agree with me on it, but they're nice enough guys, and that, you know, they're in favor of open dialogue and discussion of different ideas. And I was like, hey, this should be fun. And so I went in there knowing it was a little bit like the Lion's Den. So I was a little nervous, but I went in there, and the conversation went great. They're really nice guys. You know, we got a great reaction to it, and the feeling afterwards of relief was like, oh.
That's interesting, because you went in there like ready to do battle.
No, I didn't. So I didn't go in there thinking like there's going to be a fight.
But contentious, perhaps.
Yeah, yes, I thought, you know, they're not going to agree with me on some stuff, and so I need to be able to explain myself in a way that can change their mind, or at least give them pause and make them rethink it. And I think I largely succeeded on that front. A lot of people in their own audience said, you know, hey, I like what this guy had to say.
No,
so
you did a great job. I watched some clips from that. You did a great job. He's a great guy. He really is a great guy.
He's fair. He was fair.
Genuine.
Yeah, he was genuine. He wasn't trying to, like, you know, because some people, if you have a debate and they're different perspectives, some people will go in with like the I'm going to own this person mindset, and that's not him. He just genuinely wanted to know, like, how do you think about this? Tell me what you think about this.
Even when he doesn't agree with you, he's fair.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
He's a very genuine person, and that's the appeal, and that's why he's doing so well. You know, we talked about that, the authenticity, that like we talked about last night with Crystal, saying with you guys and with Sagar and with Jimmy Dore, and even if you don't agree with people, what they're saying, I know that's what you genuinely believe and feel, and it these narrow parameters. Did you say there was a woman that was, I forget who she was interviewing, but she was talking about something about climate change, and she was asking a question, and then she goes, okay, all right, I'm getting in trouble now. Let me, because she has an earpiece in.
Oh, shit.
And so someone's saying, get off the climate change, stop talking about.
Producer in the ear.
And so she has to course correct in the middle of the thing, which is virtually impossible.
Yeah.
And also fucks up the flow that makes people resonate with what you're saying. Because I want to know that if you and Patrick Bet David are disagreeing about a subject, I want to know that it's your thoughts and his thoughts. Like, let me see which one I agree with. Let me see why Kyle feels the way he feels, why Patrick disagrees, and let me see them work this out.
And sometimes that takes 30 or 40 minutes.
Yes.
And if you're doing CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, like you got 4-minute hit in and out, man.
Yes.
Ask one question, give me one like cut and dry answer, and then let's move on here. And nobody's learning anything. And also the people who are on screen, you don't know what they actually think about this thing.
Yes.
If they're on a network where maybe if they tell you the thing they really think, that's gonna, buck the orthodoxy, and then they're in trouble, and then they're out.
Exactly.
Because I think networks are afraid of backlash. So if somebody says something, let's say that's true, but also like goes against the grain, they might see some a response from the audience. They're like, we don't want any advertisers to flee. Let's cut this controversy off. And honestly, that is the worst thing you could possibly do. The best way to handle it is, and I do this too, if I'm going to say something where I feel like my own audience isn't even going to agree with me on this, you got to say it if you're telling the truth, and then just let the chips fall where they may. And one of the things I learned from you is just don't engage with Twitter and mentions and YouTube comments, because if you're getting good criticism, that's one thing, and you can tell when a criticism is fair. But if you're getting criticism that you're like, this isn't even close to true, and now it's making me feel like shit,
and then you're angry, and then
it's like, what's the point? I'm going to waste 3 hours feeling negative emotions because some douchebag is attacking me when they don't even know what I really think on the issue.
Yeah.
Then that's a totally different thing,
Or they've just seen a clip where you might have looked at both sides of it, but they're only seeing this one side that you're looking at, and they're like, oh, Kyle's turning his back on this and that, and and then you're like, no, I'm not, and then you're like, you get into it.
Don't engage.
Don't engage.
Don't engage.
Yeah, don't engage.
It keeps your mind pure too. If you're like, for what I do, I got to read a lot of articles and watch a lot of videos and then react to it, and I have more of an untainted perspective if I go right to the source, read it, and then I react. Whereas if I see what other people are saying first, I don't want it to like sort of taint my own process going through the original material. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It's a complex little dance we're doing. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing is that now you're getting these people that aren't influenced by a group of people that have a vested interest on gaining some financial benefits from this show being successful. So they're trying to navigate it, move it in a way that they think is going to be the most commercially successful. But they're not the people with the opinions, they're not the people that are funny, they're not the people that are putting out the entertainment value of it, they're just the people that are profiting off of it. And those are generally the people that fund it, the executives, the network, the people. But that's why CNN sucks. It's because they're trying to do that, but you can't do that. And so you have these people that are willing to do that. You have the Brian Stelters and the Don Lemons that are willing to play ball and stay narrow. And they're in these narrow pathways, and people just don't like it.
Yeah,
they just don't resonate with it, because that's not a real person. That's not who you are.
Yeah, Crystal and I have honestly tried to go above and beyond on that front, because we don't want any money from certain sources tainting us, because this is what happens with traditional media. If you're taking a lot of money from Raytheon and Boeing and Pfizer, and then if you really buck the narrative and you say, hey, you know what, I think we should maybe
as well as 2 Indian men holding a sign stating "Death to all Jews." At the same time, videos including Chief Keef dancing to Alabama N-word and other extremist content were surfacing, leading to the UK government, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Johnson & Johnson, and many other major brands pulling or pausing their advertisements on YouTube. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so they rolled out this whole system to deal with this. And they end up suppressing us, you know, and basically putting us in league with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
things together for quite a long time. It goes way back. You know, he knew him early on. Like Whitney Webb was like, she was on Russell Brand's show recently, and she went into great detail. She's fascinating. Like, she can pull up data and information off the top of her head. She's like such a good researcher. But just absolute facts about the connection between the Gates and him.
Yeah, it's a lot of very famous, very wealthy people.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guy had an island.
An island.
Like, who has an island? What are we talking about here?
Do you know the bit that I'm doing on stage now about that like, you know, people saw Clinton and like, oh, we're fine. Clinton's
That's
here.
such a great point. I was laughing hard at that line because it's so true. Yeah, it gives the feeling of like, oh, like our former national daddy figure is here, so like it's everything's okay.
One of the things that people will do to try to get me to come to a thing is they'll tell me, hey, this guy's going to be there, that guy's going to be there. Like, they'll send me an email, hey, Joe, are you interested in coming to our event, our thing, our retreat, or whatever, and blah, blah, blah is going to be there, and from this band, and that comic, and this thing, and it's like, you go, oh, well, that famous person's going to be there, I can be there too.
Right, that's
so
how they try to get you.
Talk one person into doing it that's prominent and recognized, and then you're like, oh, well, I will be in good company if I go there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what they did.
Yeah, you know, I've seen some pretty convincing stuff that Jeffrey Epstein was actually Mossad, Israeli intelligence.
I've seen that too.
Yeah, there was an article, I forget where it was. It may have been Daily Mail, which is a questionable source, but they were talking about how Jeffrey Epstein was meeting with like a former Israeli prime minister. Yeah. So, I mean, he also was meeting with the U.S. president too, of course, but I think there's some reason to believe that this guy, because if you have dirt on everybody, why do you have dirt on everybody?
It's just
what exactly is going on here?
The craziest thing that they murdered that guy in jail, and it's just like, sweep.
Yeah.
That's all done.
And by the way,
let's concentrate on Ukraine now.
Yeah, nobody actually believes he killed himself. I haven't met anybody left wing, right wing, center, apolitical. Everybody's like, that's kind of sketchy.
Yeah, I've met some people that believe it, but they have a reason to believe it. It's like they have this like vested interest in wanting to believe it.
Yeah, the skeptics. Yeah.
Not even necessarily skeptics. It's like maybe they have some weird connection to it that they don't want you to know about. They want to make it look like it's not that big a deal. They got him. One of the most eerie ones was when Bill Gates was being questioned about it. You know,
he's dead now.
He's dead now, so you have to be careful. Well, fuck does that mean? Jesus Christ. He's dead now, so I guess you have to be careful. What?
was always going to be this messy when you get out.
I don't know if that's true.
I do think it's true because there's so much money invested in staying over there. I mean, there's Raytheon, Boeing, Halliburton, all these people are making so much money staying there, and I guarantee you, not a single staffer of Biden's was telling him, hey, you're right about this. They were all telling him, don't do it, don't get out, you're causing a political headache for yourself. And he did, because the media hammered him, and then his approval rating dropped, even though that was an issue where if you polled people beforehand, like 60, 70, 80% of the country was like, yeah, we need to get out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So it's one thing where he actually stood up to the deep state, he stood up to the military-industrial complex, and then he got shit on relentlessly for it. I understand it was a mess, but the alternative is staying there 10 more years, 20 more years, 30 more years. I mean, we got our infrastructure's crumbling here. Why aren't we spending trillions of dollars over there?
Yeah, I don't think anybody reasonable disagrees with that. I think the reasonable perspective is, was there a way to get those American citizens out first?
Yeah,
and should that have been done?
A lot of them did get out. Jamie, you could look this up if you want. I remember that. So the worst thing that happened was the attack as we were leaving. There was some like ISIS attack on an airport. And then what Biden did was super fucked up because he said, oh, we're going to attack them back. And he did a drone strike on a house and said, oh, we got the ISIS guys. And then it came out that was all, they were innocent civilians. They just bombed innocent civilians.
What are the numbers on drones? The drones, innocence to actual people they're trying to target.
So we know it. We know what it is.
Nuts.
There's a guy by the name of Daniel Hale who worked for the government, and he was a whistleblower, and he showed the numbers under Obama were killing 90% the wrong people. And so he released that, and you know what happened? They put his ass in jail.
Why?
Because he's leaking classified information.
Whoa.
So they put him in jail, and then by the way,
jail now?
yes, he's in jail right now. And the people who actually were doing the drone strikes and killing 90% the wrong people, they are not in jail. I know that's a rough one. Pardon Daniel Hale, commute Daniel Hale sent. If I get him out of there, he's right up there with Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, like all these names that a lot of people know, where it's like, hey, they're kind of getting a raw deal here. This guy Daniel Hale's right up there.
Do you think that with all the information that's available now and these narratives that do get discussed, what you're saying, what we're talking about, what you talk about on your show, that more people are informed of that now, so it makes it more difficult for them to do that, and ultimately that stuff will diminish over time?
It's just the people with actual power don't give much of a fuck of what I have to say or others like me have to say.
Give a fuck about the American people. If the American people don't vote them in anymore because they're upset about that.
Well, this is more what we call the deep state. So CIA, like the people behind the scenes, the Pentagon, the people who are sort of there from administration to administration, and they're not dependent on elections. Like, these are the people who they throw the book at a guy like that, Because if you leak something that makes them look good, it's fine that you just leak classified information. You leak something that makes them look bad, like Daniel Hale did, and they'll rain holy hell on you.
It's very disturbing when you find out these egregious missteps of justice, where people get in prison for leaking information and discussing information, or the Stephen Dossinger case.
Oh yes, that guy. We've had him on Crystal Kyle and Friends. Amazing story.
Crazy.
Yeah, he basically is like, if you really get down to the bottom line here.
Explain to people what happened.
Yeah, so he was imprisoned for basically showing how, I think it was Chevron, one of the big oil companies, flat out poisoned, I think it was Peru. You might want to fact check me on that. I'm not sure it was Peru, but it was one South American country. They basically poisoned the water supply there. They were doing all these terrible practices, polluting everything, and he stood up against them in court and won. And then basically, the empire struck back and went after him, and he ended up in prison. Basically for blowing the whistle on this and getting him out.
So here it is.
I'm sorry, there you go, not Peru.
So Dossinger, an American attorney known for his legal battles with Chevron, particularly Anguinda versus Texaco Inc. and other cases which he represented over 30,000 farmers and indigenous people who suffered environmental damage and health problems caused by the oil drilling in the Lago Agrio oil field of Ecuador. The Ecuadorian court awarded the plaintiffs $9.5 billion.
Yeah.
$11.5 billion in 2021 dollars in damages, which led Chevron to withdraw its assets from Ecuador and launched legal action against Dossinger in the U.S. In 2011, Chevron, this has been going on for 12 fucking years, filed a RICO anti-corruption suit against Dossinger, which is wild, in New York City. The case was heard by U.S. District Judge Louis A. Kaplan, who determined that the ruling of the Ecuadorian court could not be enforced in the U.S. because it was procured by fraud, bribery, and racketeering activities.
Now that's all bullshit, just so everybody knows. There was no
house arrest in 2019 while awaiting trial on charges of criminal contempt of court, which arose during his appeal against Kaplan's RICO decision when he refused to turn over electronic devices he owned to Chevron's forensic experts. In July 2021, U.S. District Judge Loretta Preska found him guilty, and Dosinger was sentenced to 6 months in jail in October 2021. While Dosinger was under house arrest in 2020, 29 Nobel laureates described the actions taken by Chevron against him as judicial harassment. Human rights campaigners called Chevron's actions an example of strategic lawsuit against public participation, SLAP lawsuit. In April 2021, 6 members of Congressional Progressive Caucus demanded that the Department of Justice review Dosinger's case. In September 2021, the United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights stated that the pretrial detention imposed on Dosinger was illegal and called for his release, having spent 45 days in prison and a combined total of 993 days under house arrest. Dosinger was released on April 25th, 2022.
So let me also add, so yes, he spent 993 days under house arrest. Now the actual laws they're accusing him of breaking, it would have been like a max, I'm going to butcher this, but it was like a month or something. So they kept him under house arrest for 993 days, then he actually went to jail, but even if he had gotten a max sentence, if he had the trial right away, it would have been like a month or something.
There's a crash on the A9 between exits 43 and 44 that is causing a delay. You can avoid it and save 7 minutes. If you prefer to stay on the current route, tap no, thanks.
And more importantly, what that does is it scares the fuck out of anybody that's thinking about doing something
That's
like
the
that in the
point.
future.
That's exactly the point. The empire will strike back.
Yeah.
And they do.
Especially in a situation like that where there's clear evidence that they
Undeniable.
polluted that area.
Undeniable.
Fucking crazy.
Look, this is the impact, and you know this is my big thing, this is the impact of money on politics.
Yeah.
This is the way our system works. I mean, when you have giant corporations and billionaires pay the politicians in campaign contributions, then when those politicians get in there, they're going to represent the corporations and the billionaires and not the will of the people. I mean, you can look at any public opinion poll and it will tell you some very clear preferences among Democrats, Republicans, among everybody, and we don't get those things into law. The stuff that goes into law is a new tax break or subsidy for a giant corporation or another bailout for Wall Street. Like, that's the stuff that's prioritized because that's what who these people are getting paid by. Like Nancy Pelosi, for example, she has like an 18% approval rating. She was a leader of the Democrats for so long, all because she raised the most money. She has the most connections with the corporations and the billionaires, and so that's why she's the top of the party. It's not because she actually has people who like her and support her.
Yeah, it's spooky. It's spooky because there's no clear path to get money out of politics.
So there is.
Yeah.
One way is to do a constitutional amendment, but that's difficult because you need to get like 3/5 of the state. It's a whole process. It's very difficult. But
You
really,
have to get the people that are involved in it to agree.
yeah, I mean, so there's this thing called clean elections, which is you ban all the private money, everything is funded by the public, and you're allocated a certain amount, and then you really have a debate and a battle of ideas and different policies, and whoever wins, wins. The fact of the matter is, we used to have laws that limited corporate money in politics. There was I think it was like, it's called the Tillman Act. I want to say it was like 1907 or something like that. They said, yeah, no corporate money in politics. No corporate money. But what happened was the Supreme Court came along in the 1970s, and then in subsequent cases after that as well. Bucky versus Vallejo, Citizens United, Bilotti, there were a bunch of cases where they basically said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and claim that bribing politicians is free speech. They claimed it's a free speech issue. So if a billionaire wants to give $200,000 or whatever to a PAC or a super PAC or a candidate, it's like, hey, that's their right to do that.
Yeah.
And you're just going to drown out. There's some grandma in Cleveland who donates $15 to a politician and wants her Social Security not to be cut, and those voices are just drowned out.
The bribing is so fucking blatant too. It's so strange, these contributions that people do. Like Sam Bankman-Fried, for example. You know,
So bad.
It's so bad.
It was all a scam. Everything was a scam.
So crazy that was going on for so long, and unless that Binance guy went after them, that would have kept going.
That's right.
It would be going on right now.
He's the one who kind of, exposed all of it.
Yeah, and meanwhile now they're exposing him. Now his company's falling apart.
Well, look, I'm no expert on crypto, but there are many experts who do say, like, TikTok, the whole crypto industry may implode eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm no expert on it, but a guy named Matt Stoller, he basically says, like, the whole thing is bogus. Like, everything is, like, FTX Sam Bankman-Fried. Like, it's all garbage.
Well, if people agree that it's